Radio.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Cryptocurrent. Your host here, Richard Carthon. And today I have a special guest that lives all the way out in Dubai that's working on a project that I think a lot of people are going to be excited about as we head into 2023. We have Sebastian Menge, who is with the founder and COO of Fitburn. How are you doing today?
I'm fine. Hope you too. So best regards from Germany, actually. I'm just waiting for going back to Dubai because the weather here is not so nice. And in Dubai, it's like 20 degrees. So it's like perfect weather, actually. Oh, yeah. And I can't wait to go back and work on Fitburn, yeah.
Oh, definitely, man. Well, hope you're enjoying some family time and holiday. But first, let's learn a little bit more about you. Can you give us a little bit of background on yourself?
Background for myself is like, the background, especially for like Fitburn, is I'm a competitive bodybuilder since 2016. So I came from fitness. I studied medicine since 2014 till 2018, actually. So I've also the health background, and I know that people who do sports are healthier persons, mostly because we work in hospital. I worked in my studies for like a few months. And you can see many people with health issues are not really sporty or doing sports and all this stuff. So I guess there are many health issues you can prevent with sport. So I'm much into sports these years. That's actually background. And I came into crypto in times of Corona crisis because I had time. Normal business was not running that good. And so I came into investing and learned about crypto and cryptocurrencies and blockchain technology and got really fascinated and told myself, why not combine crypto and fitness? So both things I love.
Yeah. So you have your health background, you're doing competitive bodybuilding. And this is a reminder for all those who are listening on the podcast, come check out over on YouTube. You get a look, you can tell he's definitely a bodybuilder. Got some muscles on him. So make sure you go check out over on YouTube. But so working in health and fitness, then coronavirus happens. Everyone has a little bit more time. Started looking at crypto. You're like, oh my gosh, this is a really cool opportunity. How can I combine my passion with crypto? And Fitburn is born. So tell us a little bit about what is Fitburn.
Fitburn is a new lifestyle fitness application. Actually, the main idea was like there are many people in like poorer countries like maybe India or Egypt or all the stuff where many talents maybe in fitness bodybuilding, but they will never came on the big stage because they don't have the money to afford the lifestyle. Because behind the fitness is not only going to the gym, it's like eating the right food, buying the right supplements and all this stuff. And when I studied, I had like 400 euros or something a month for living. And it was quite not easy to afford this lifestyle. Because if you go for good food and all stuff, you easily spend like 1,000 euro a month only for food. And if you buy some supplements like protein powder, EAAs or something, you again pay like 200 to 400 euros a month if you do it right. So like it's a really expensive lifestyle. And I guess like many people can't afford it. So like it's more for the richer countries like, I don't know, US, Germany, Europe, and all these countries have big opportunities around this lifestyle or this fitness stuff. And poorer countries is very, very, very difficult to live this lifestyle. So the main idea was be your own sponsor, join Fitburn, and get rewarded for every drop of your sweat or for every calorie you burn. Because in our application, you get calorie tokens for every calorie you burn in the end. And you can spend it for like supplements, discounted gym memberships and all the stuff. So like the main goal is to build like a whole ecosystem and make calorie token the fitness currency.
Yeah, I think that's a really unique way of approaching this. You're calling it the world's first burn to earn, and you're adding a lot of elements that I think is really crucial for people not only not looking into their fitness, but also for those who are potentially trying to go to that next level. Like you said, it can become expensive between things that you're eating, trying to get supplements, trying to do all the other things to bulk up. And by earning these calorie tokens, you're saying you can then use them to buy things like supplements and some of these things. So you don't have to then use your own money. Like that is a very unique approach to going after this.
Yeah, that's the goal. And you also spend time in the gym. Like if you're doing it right, you go for training like 6 days a week for 1.5, 2 hours. If you drive by car, you maybe need like 3 hours a day. You have to spend, and it's also a time where you can't earn money. So you can't go to the office at that time. So you're in the gym training, do something for your health. And we want people to get rewarded for this. So like an extra motivation. I guess people who do the sports regularly, they anyway go to the gym daily. But we also want to motivate new people to enter the gym and get into this lifestyle. Because I guess if you're not doing competitions, it's a really healthy lifestyle. So competition part is maybe not the heaviest in the end, if you want to do it right. But all the other stuff like training and nutrition, it's a really, really healthy lifestyle. And I guess that more people should join this and stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking, I don't know, all this bad stuff, which is damaging our health. Also, it's a huge amount of money which is needed in the health system because of people not taking care of themselves in the end. And that's a big problem for the health system in every country, I guess. Like people getting too fat, people eating the wrong stuff, people eating junk food, people smoking, people drinking alcohol. So all the bad habits people have, I don't know, but if you enter the gym and get used to this healthy lifestyle, you would love it. So
So encouraging people to get more active, work on their health and wellness. And the way that you're approaching this, though, is that way that people can start earning calories and the calorie token and other things. I believe first you have to have an NFT. So can you kind of talk through how the process works for someone who wants to potentially utilize this?
Yeah, actually, it's quite easy. So you buy an NFT. It's like a bit like Steppen, or we did like before. You buy an NFT, and then you can enter the ecosystem. So in our case, you buy an NFT T-shirt. It's like a T-shirt with a Fitburn or something. We have 4 different types of T-shirts, like common, rare, legendary, and all the stuff. So like you have different time limits for training. If you get the lowest one, you have like 20 minutes, for example. If you get the highest one, you have up to 60 minutes for training. But you can also extend it with boosters and all the stuff you can buy in application after, so that you can extend your training time. Because I guess if you start with training, it's like a good approach to go like for 20 minutes or half an hour. But if you get used to it, you want to train more, or maybe you want to earn more calorie tokens and more money in the end. And then you have the possibility to extend your training time with in-app boosters and upgrade functions for the NFTs. So like, but the 4 different types are, like, it's like random. If you buy it, you don't know what kind of NFT you get in the end. But it's like $600, so it's not affordable for everyone. But for the people who can't afford it, we will integrate from day one also a renting system that people who maybe don't want to go to sport or don't want to do sport, but they want to take it like an investment. They can buy like, I don't know, 2 NFTs, 5 NFTs, and rent it to different people who are really motivated to go to the gym, but can't afford to buy an NFT in the end. But they have also the possibility to get like 50% of the earnings by not buying it, renting it in the end. So I guess this is a good function for the poor countries like India, for like Egypt, I don't know, for like all those countries where $600 is more than a monthly income. For those people, it's really good approach to have like a renting system. So it's accessible in the end for everyone.
So providing a way for people to start using this. So for people who want to initially set up, you buy one of these NFTs starting at 600 and you get randomly selected for which one that you get. So a little bit of luck involved there. But then you also, if you don't necessarily want to purchase one, you can rent and still earn and be able to eventually work your way into being able to purchase one of these into the future and then kind of grow it from there. So a couple of different functions that you'd be able to go and use this. So I know a key component that is involved with putting on Fitburn is the application itself. So can you tell us a little bit of information about that?
Yeah, actually, we are starting the beta phase. So everyone who's listening to the podcast can register under fitburn.net. And then we have an application form, and you can be one of the first people who can try the application in the first version. So it's not ready yet for everything. Like we have some issues with Apple Watch and all the stuff we can fix in the next month because it's a bit more difficult with Apple actually to integrate Web3 functions in applications. So you have to find a way around it. So like the first version is working really fine on Android phones and Android bands and all the stuff. And we're working on to integrate Apple more and more. But it's not the easiest way. But it's already working. But in the end, it's the first version, and people should try it. And if there are some bugs and all the stuff, we can fix it until we launch in April. So the launch actually is planned for April. There's a big expo in Cologne, like FIBO. I don't know if you heard about it. It's like the biggest fitness and bodybuilding expo in the world. Wow. And I guess it's a good date to launch something like in fitness application. Yeah,
definitely, especially a new way to approach it and to get after it. So for those who are listening to this right now and they want to be a beta user and they're really excited and want to be able to test this and be one of the first people to put their hands on this, how can they get involved and do that?
Actually, go on fitburn.net, fill the application, and you can be one of 500 people testing the first version. And you already get rewarded. Like for every token you get like a reward system for testing and for also like telling us what's wrong with the application. If there's some stuff to fix, like bugs and all the stuff. Yeah. So everyone, it's free. You can join fitburn.net and there you go.
Yeah, well, it sounds good. And I think one of the things that's going to be really critical as we head into 2023 is how do we continue to get to mass adoption? And then also, how do we continue to have Web3 applications that can survive any type of market, right? So whether it's bull or bear, health and wellness and fitness is always going to be critical and important and can help. And as you kind of look at the lessons of since you've been in the industry during COVID, which was a bull market into a bear, what do you think were some of the biggest takeaways that you've been able to incorporate as you head into 2023?
As an investor, I would say I would maybe have sold something earlier. So now I'm holding most of my tokens I bought in 2022 for last year, for example. So there was a huge impact. But the main focus for our project is that we get new blood into the crypto space, like fitness people who never touched crypto before. Because like I guess normal people don't care so much about beer or bull market, because if you go to training and you get rewards, you don't care if it's like a beer or bull market. Because in my opinion, it's also like it's made by media or by from like big investors who can manipulate the markets, because it's every time same approach. Like every 4 years we have like beer, bull market, all the stuff. And I guess it's more like it's like planned. Like the people think, oh, next year we have beer market, and when you think there's beer market, you will sell your tokens, and we already get into beer market. So like, I guess that's the problem with it. So like the people are used to beer and bull markets, especially the people who are in crypto space, and they are a huge believer of all the cycles and all this data which is coming from the past. But we can create a new future. So if we get like new people into it, not used to it, and even I guess like Fitburn is 90% like a real life application and 10% crypto, because we're only using the blockchain technology to give people rewards and use the benefits of blockchain. But the main approach or the main goal or main target is to see no bull or beer market for Fitburn.
Yeah. And I think that's the right approach.
Because it's only a short term, like you get a huge hype maybe in the beginning and maybe like 50x or something. And then the people think, oh, we're going into beer market, and then you lose like 90% of your money again. So I guess that's not the goal for us, like creating hype and then, getting lost, or the project dies after 1 or 2 years. So many projects died, and the main target for us is to build like an ecosystem for years. That's also the main point, that we kept the amount of tokens you can earn, or the amount of money you can earn. Like it's like for this normal NFTs, like $10 per workout, and for the rare ones maybe like $30. So you can earn maybe maximum like 1K a month, because it's normally the kind of amount of money you spend for your expenses for the gym. And we don't want people like in Steppen like earning 50K, 100K, because it's also a problem with governments, I guess. Like if you have an application where you can earn like 30K and the people earn like 1K, the government would not like it. Like the people play an application or use an application where they earn more money than with their regular job, because they will not go to work anymore. So it's a huge problem. So in my opinion, it's better to cap it like somehow on a realistic amount of money you can earn than having like 50K for 1 month and next month you maybe earn like $10, because the tokens are not worth, or are worth nothing after it,
Right.
because people sell.
I think that's a good way of looking at it too, because ultimately you're always going to have people who are trying to game the system. And in some ways, for the people, like you're saying, who are already in health and wellness and doing what they're doing anyway, and if you're like, hey, if you come use this application, keep doing what you're doing, but now you can earn some money. Now you can potentially use some of that money to pay for your supplements, for gym memberships, for et cetera. Like that's an easy sell. But for other people who come in, they're like, oh, I'm trying to, make $5,000, $10,000 a month, then it's a very different focus. It's very much like just being there, doing the actions for the end result of the money. And it's like, how can you blend those? Working. How do you find the balance? Yeah.
It's not working because Fitburn it's not about money. It's like a community. It's community based. Like people who use the application become Fitburner, and we're also trying to build a huge community around fitness industry. So we are the main sponsor of Mr. Olympia last year, now in December. So I just came back from Vegas. Nice. And we also have like some big athletes from fitness industry joining us in the next month. But we want to hide it somehow to create more hype until the launch. But I guess like getting those people involved, like fitness industry, is loving us. We have more problems actually with crypto industry, because for many also like VCs, we are the next move to earn, like StepN, like the next Ponzi scheme and all the stuff. But we took care of all the stuff like tokenomics that we don't have a Ponzi. So we even if you check the tokenomics, there's nothing comparable to StepN or something. So like we're not inflationary. That kind of, we have a staking system, we have a P system. So we integrated everything to not be the next Ponzi. But if you talk to like crypto people, say, it's the next move to earn. It's the same like Step App, or it's the same like StepN. And I said, no, it's not the same. You have to understand our project, because it's not StepN. It's not like walking outside to get some tokens and sell for money. Because our main focus is that the people use the tokens, and we keep it inside the ecosystem. So all tokens are coming back to us. Like we giving the people discounts for supplements, with supplement companies working with us, or with gyms and all the stuff. And we also make like a small amount of money out of it, because we're giving some kind of discount to the people, and some kind of the discount is getting back to the reward pool. So even with the purchase of stuff, the system keeps running. So that's the main focus. That the pools are never getting empty, and like there's always a circulation of tokens, and the people don't want to sell it for dollars. That's the main focus.
Yeah, and I think that's a important distinction to put up there, because I'm sure a lot of people who either got into the StepN ecosystem and at first either crushed it or got in late and ultimately didn't make anything or lost money because they got in at the time that they did. Allowing you to point to how is this different? Like why would someone want to be a part of it? And you're really focused more on that community, focused more on that reason for people to want to keep coming back and sharing with one another and keeping it within your own ecosystem. And I think that's going to be important moving forward. As you look across the entire industry and what's to come for 2023, what do you think people should be paying attention to as this industry continues to evolve?
So for me, for in my opinion, it's not only our project, but I guess like Web3, like projects you can use in your real life. That's the most important part, because actually before, crypto was for the nerd people sitting on the PC, maybe playing games or making play to earn. Like I don't know, there are millions of games came out last year. And I guess if you combine something good like doing sports, what you anyway should do, and get rewarded or something, like a real world game, like I would say like Realverse, not Metaverse, because I'm not a fan of Metaverse. I know that there are many, many young people coming into Metaverse and all this stuff, but in my opinion, it's horrible, because the people will stay at home, will not contact to anyone, like social distancing and all the stuff we learned in this COVID pandemic. And for me, it's like a nightmare, because I love to connect with people. I love to speak with people. I love to train with real people, and I guess that's for me the main point, to integrate like blockchain technology in our real world and in our real life habits and all the stuff we need in the real world, and not only like sitting on desktop at home. So it's boring, in my opinion, and it's not healthy to use the desktop all day. Yeah.
So finding a way to have real use case and being able to use it in the real world as opposed to just purely being in the virtual. And I think there's always going to need to be that necessary blend so that we can keep connecting in real life and keep having that type of response. And I'm interested to see how things continue to develop. I think for where the metaverse is and where it's growing, it has a lot to go to really get to that level of mass adoption. But people are, even when that happens, people are still going to want to be able to meet and do things in the real world. So having
hopefully.
that nice, hopefully.
Otherwise, I prefer to be like that in the end when the metaverse is taking over everything, because for me it's like nightmare. Like people wearing like glasses, sitting at home and thinking they're in another world or something. Maybe it's sometimes fun, but the real world has so many things to see, to look at, like getting in contact, like to travel and all the stuff like you will not have if you were in glass and think you are in Australia or think you are in US. So because you are basically not, you are still sitting in your room, and your life is still boring. So like go out and see everything, yeah. Because this stuff, no one can take you in the end. Like memories, like all the stuff happen in your life, like seeing new cultures, new things, meeting new people. I guess that's the main point of being a human being.
It's the social interactions and creating those experiences. And I think that's a really good point. And as we kind of wrap up here, I always like to finish with a final thought that you want to leave everyone listening today. So what would you like to share with all of our listeners?
Yeah, join Fitburn. Go on fitburn.net, fill the application, and be one of the first Fitburners. And there's so many more things to come in the future. Like we're still hiding, but imagine there will be gyms where you don't have to pay for your membership. You just go in, have a Fitburn gym, train, and get also rewarded, not in the full amount, but in the party amount. And you can train for free. I guess we can do some damage in the fitness industry with gyms like that. And there are many ideas we have in mind, but it's normally like step to step. So we take over fitness industry first.
Yeah. I mean, coming in to disrupt. So everyone keep an eye on Fitburn. If you are interested, make sure you go sign up to be one of those lucky few who get to be a beta tester and then get ready for that launch that is coming out in April of 2023. So Sebastian, I really want to say thank you again for spending some time with us. You gave us a lot to think about and things to go look at. And as always, for everyone listening, make sure you stay cryptocurrent.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Cryptocurrent. Cryptocurrent is a cryptocurrency and blockchain education platform that's bridging the gap between the curious newcomers who are just discovering the space and the thought leaders who are shaping its future. All opinions expressed by Richard Carthon, the Cryptocurrent team, and their guests on this show are exclusively their own opinions. This show and any other Cryptocurrent production is exclusively for informational purposes.